This was someone on Facebook, so I hope that you watch this video because I'm doing it on YouTube and not on Facebook. Um, hey Scott, I just watched a video of yours on Facebook about the watching and resting with awareness at the objects, etc. And it drove me enough to write, mostly because it's driving me crazy that my issue is with nothingness and emptiness. I feel like life has forgotten me. At least it's not answering me and what it wants from me. I had a big wake up at age 16, totally changed everything. I had the physical lifting of an energetic weight I was carrying and felt energetically born again. I had the download of information that felt like I had just read 20 encyclopedias whilst I slept and other common enlightening experiences. This rocketed me away from my own age group and into a land unknown, mostly of not belonging or fitting in. This was mid 1990s, so basically no internet like it is now. The first year was the honeymoon period, and then the big dark night lasted from 17 to 24, age 17 to 24. From then on, it feels like I've been waiting for the final leap or death to get me home. I read and listened to all the teachers, but they all seem to point to objects, which is fine. But I'm stuck in a position in life that life wants nothing from me, has forgotten me, and it leaves me in a state of pointless, useless helplessness. Why does truth self want to do nothing with this life but stare out the window and work in the same job for 15 years? I don't believe we humans can be as equipped with all the abilities we have to believe that the self is this useless. I'm stuck and void of any life activity, like I'm on a boat in the middle of nowhere going nowhere for no reason. Can you talk some time about this in a video? It drives me nuts hearing someone like Aja say, "What does life want from me?" I'm like, fuck all. It doesn't do anything with me and hasn't for years. I want to just be done with this life and I'm not depressed or suicidal. I've been through that. Just a strong lostness and want to walk away from it all. But hey, the rent still needs to be paid. Sorry it's long, but I'm doing it all and the lack of living and involvement from life at being a contributing human. Sorry, the wordage. Sorry it's long, but I'm doing or done it all. And the lack of living and involvement from life at being a contributing human while trying to get home or realize it fully is doing my head in. I can sit and meditate or stare out the window or be aware of my thoughts or feel the body until the moon turns blue, but it's the most unproductive thing I've done. Yes, if I could tell you how many times I've worked with people like in this state. So it's exactly how it shows up for you is exactly why I call it the awkward teenage stage. Because it's like you've had these big experiences and perhaps the shift, but then you're not living in that. There's something that stops you from just living in the flow of that. And there's many things that can stop us, but one of the most common things is exactly what you're saying, which is when you say you're sort of stuck in nothingness or emptiness, I would challenge that belief because what I hear is still very personal beliefs that are happening for you, like personal deficiency stories or nihilistic beliefs that are masquerading as nothingness or emptiness. Now, I don't question the fact that in your direct experience, there's a sense of emptiness. So that might be there. I'm not discounting that. What I'm saying is that in that, I think there's some programs running. And I see the programs here, and I'm very familiar with these programs. Um, because they show up in what I call this awkward teenage stage where it's like you have one foot, so to speak, in the awakening, knowing, like the awareness, whatever it is, one foot in that, so to speak, and one foot still in a remnant of ego that's hard to see. And that remnant of ego is like it's still the mind trying to get personal meaning and to have a life have a point on a personal level. Follow me here. And so when you say things like this, me see if I can find the right words here. I'm stuck in a position in life that life wants nothing from me, has forgotten me, and it leaves me in a state of pointless, useless helplessness. That's all you need right there. That program needs to be challenged with inquiry. That's not about just seeing the objects or just seeing things come and go. This to me is more unconscious. This is why I talk about the unconscious, because you're reporting as if you're reporting on what reality really looks like to you. So for you, the emptiness looks this way. That's not emptiness. That's emptiness plus a program that paints it a certain way. And so what you're going to want to do instead of just witnessing objects, because these thoughts are not yet fully conscious, they're not really appearing in your awareness, I don't think, or and the body stuff that's connected to them hasn't been unearthed. So what I would do would be directly to challenge that belief system with reverse inquiry and stay in the looking. So you will be witnessing, but I'm having you witness something that you're believing that is so close to you that you've mistaken it for reality. The program is so embedded in your awareness that you're literally mistaking that for reality or even for awakening. Start with this, for example. Part of your program is that life has forgotten you. Okay, so be in the body during this whole thing because chances are these programs are connected to something in the body like pain, discomfort, contraction, something. Find that area, whatever it is, and bring awareness into it first. Because part of what I think you have to do is you have to start embodying this much more. You seem to be kind of stuck in that kind of thing, like, and not totally connected down in the body. And that's a place where people can veer off into that stuck in emptiness without embodying this as a way, believe it or not, to protect themselves still. There's a lot going on here. But to get underneath it, start with this. Life hasn't forgotten me as a reverse inquiry. So when you say that, you're going to believe that that life has forgotten you, right? When you say life hasn't forgotten me, rest as awareness and listen to your mind object. Let it object fully. Yes, it has forgotten me. Okay, let that thought be there. Stay with it from awareness until it isn't anymore. Like literally stay with it. Because this program that you're looking at right now apparently hasn't been looked at directly. Because once you look at something directly and you stay with it, the program can't survive in your awareness. So let each thought fall away into awareness. Keep watching them. Let your body make any changes that it's naturally making just by watching. Then repeat. This is a deeply embedded belief that life has forgotten me. So life hasn't forgotten me. Yes, it has. Go through those thoughts again, one at a time, letting each one be there fully until it falls away. I can't guide you with this now. I'm showing you how to do it. You're going to have to go deep in inquiry here. This is not going to be a 10-minute Scott Kilby video, but I'm giving you the keys here. Repeat that as much as possible until there's really nothing on it. Repeat that inquiry until when you say, life hasn't forgotten me, you don't get anything. But when you get nothing, then what that's showing you is awareness without. So repeat that inquiry and then move on to some of the other programs. They need to be directly challenged because you're mistaking them for reality. So life leaves me in a state of pointlessness. So reverse that. By the way, you can use utility on these. So utility inquiry gets at what we get out of believing these things. There's a payoff. These programs are useful to you, but you just haven't seen why they're useful. So going back to the first one where life has forgotten me, while doing that inquiry, that reverse inquiry, throw in some utility inquiry. Like, what do I get out of believing that life has forgotten me? I must be getting something because I keep believing it. And beliefs don't happen in a vacuum. They happen because we personally get something out of it. I don't know what that is, but find out. Don't think about it. Ask the utility question. What do I get out of believing that life has forgotten me? Oh, this keeps me from having to engage in life. I don't know what the thoughts are. Witness them. Because if you don't see the utilities and do the utility inquiry several times to witness and dissolve this, if you don't, those utilities will stay in place. And so the main belief that life has forgotten me will stay. See? So be thorough in that belief and be thorough in each one of these other programs. Thorough means use reverse inquiry, weaved in with utility inquiry. So this next one, life hasn't left me in a state of pointlessness. Life has not left me in a state of pointlessness. Yes, it has. Watch these thoughts. Even though you've been thinking these thoughts for years, what I'm challenging you to do now is to witness each one of them and hold on to nothing. And I would assume that unless you've asked very direct questions like this program hasn't really come up into awareness. And instead you've just been thinking it and therefore seeing that reality, believing it. So asking the right questions, pulling up and staying with it is the key here. Life has not left me in a state of pointlessness. Yes, it has. Be with each thought one at a time until it falls away, even if it's just saying yes or no. Maybe another thought comes up that gives a reason for it, like, or proof of it. Like maybe a thought, an image comes up, and you're like, well, what does this have to do with life is pointless? When that image comes up, it's inviting you to go deeper. So ask, what does this image mean about me? What does it mean? Oh, here come the words. What's the point? There's no point in life. Maybe those are the words. Stay with those words. Just let those be until they fall away. So when pictures come up, ask, what does it mean about me? When words come up that are sticky, let's say the words come up as like, life is pointless. What do I get out of believing those words? You see, because there's more to that. It's not just happening in a vacuum. Find out what comes with it by asking these questions. Be thorough, repeat until you don't believe it anymore. Because as long as you believe this, you're going to be in this sort of place. So directly challenging these beliefs. That's what this is. These are programs. This isn't reality that you're talking about here. It's how you have come to interpret this awakening, and there's a utility. There are utilities behind it. There are reasons for it that you haven't discovered yet. Going to the next program. Life doesn't leave me in a helpless state. So the program is life leaves me in a helpless state. Reverse that in some way. Like it sounds like it's like you're saying life has left you in that state as if life is doing that to you. Put that in first person. I believe that I'm helpless. For the moment, stop blaming life and own it for yourself. I believe that I am helpless. Then reverse that. I'm not helpless. Here comes the proof. Yeah, you are. Here's your program. Stay with each thought one at a time. When images are sticky, ask, what do they mean? Witness those words from awareness. When words are sticky, ask, what do I get out of believing those words? Witness. Repeat, I am not helpless. Yes, you are. Observe. Because your body gets to make corresponding changes as you do this. And I think that part of this is a lack of embodiment. So the reason there's a lack of embodiment here is because this program isn't seen still, it's believed. So in seeing it and dissolving it as you're watching it, the body can come into alignment so it can adjust accordingly. Do these inquiries on all of this usefulness, helplessness, pointlessness, life's forgotten me, and anything else. Reverse it, witness thoroughly, throw in utility. Do this for a while, a couple weeks. Come back to this inquiry regularly. And then, if you've really done it that far, go back to Facebook and email me and let me know that it didn't work. But if it did, and you're having breakthroughs, I can take you deeper than that if something else comes up. But again, I won't know what's going on unless you share that with me. I'd love to be able to share it with people. Either way, if it didn't work, then we adjust because it's still the same principle. You're still believing something unconscious that we just have to get to. And if it did work, that's important for people to hear because there's many people fall into this place. That's exactly what I wouldn't do in this state is just sit there and watch thoughts. You can do that, but you can see it doesn't take you very far. At, at, I do say that awareness isn't enough. Just resting is awareness. This is a prime example right here because this person is saying, I've just been resting and seeing things come and go, and nothing is changing. The reason for that is that the programs are unconscious. They're not going to show themselves to you. So to really dig deep, you have to ask these questions, these inquiries, pull that up, challenge your belief system very directly, and then witness the objects that come up that were previously unconscious. Please give me an update on that. I think we're all interested to know how that works out for you.